You know, the timing of Activision Blizzard can sometimes be impeccable, can't it? Or should I say Microsoft? So here I was thinking, what the hell am I going to make for Overwatch this week? Well, it appears that Microsoft just provided me with all the news I needed. Microsoft are acquiring Activision Blizzard for a reported $68.7 billion. Yes, that means StarCraft, Candy Crush, World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, Diablo, and yes, Overwatch will now be under the guise of Xbox and Microsoft. Although Activision Blizzard and King will still exist, they will be under that big entire bracket of Microsoft now. Microsoft also owns things like the Halo franchise and obviously Bethesda, which do Fallout and things like that. So this is massive news. This is insanely massive news for a variety of reasons. It wasn't expected. It wasn't expected, and you're going to see a lot of memes. You're going to see an incredible amount of memes now, because you're going to see Minecraft Steve in Overwatch, or stuff like that. You know, Microsoft is getting very big in the gaming community now. Like, very, very big. A lot of these titles that are on Activision Blizzard King's roster are now probably going to come to Game Pass at some point, possibly Overwatch. So that means that there's going to be more access to it for newer players and stuff like that if they just want to try the game out. It's going to be a lot of changes. The biggest thing for it is that Activision especially, and Blizzard itself as well, although Blizzard answered to Activision answered pretty much to itself. It doesn't anymore. Activision answers to Microsoft. So there is going to be a lot more accountability for Activision Blizzard going forward, because they are now owned by one of the biggest companies in the world. And they can't afford, especially Microsoft can't afford for trouble. Now, there's going to be a lot of like, why the hell would they buy Blizzard with the state it's in, or Activision with the state it's in? Well, actually, it's very clever timing from Microsoft. Very, very clever timing. These things do not take these things do not take a short amount of time. They haven't come in the past week and just said, "Hey, want to buy you," and it's all happened. These things take a long time, and probably going back before any of this Activision Blizzard stuff even cropped up, and it's allowed Microsoft to bide their time, probably get the entire company at a cut down price, and Microsoft can now come in as sort of the saviors of Activision Blizzard, reform it and do whatever they want with it. They also come into games with, no matter what you say, Candy Crush is a massive game. COD has always been massive. The whole franchise for Call of Duty has been massive. Then you've got World of Warcraft. It's still a massive, massive subscriber base on World of Warcraft, and a massive game in itself. And then you've got up and coming stuff. Yes, Overwatch is not in the best position it is, but you've got Overwatch 2 on the horizon, right? That is the first entry for Microsoft. That is going to be the first game on the roster that is like, Microsoft are going to plug that game. They're going to plug that game hard. So it means a lot for Overwatch and Overwatch 2. It means a lot for Activision Blizzard. There's been a content drought, in not just in Overwatch, but in a lot of other games. I think World of Warcraft has had a bit of content drought as well. So these games are now going to have new people to answer to. And so that could mean more content. It could mean nothing changes. Again, it's early days. This has just been reported at day of recording, so we don't know what's going to go on. And when you look at what this all encompasses, is coming back to a very, very, I suppose, selfish point of view. This is not just the games. This is going to be the esports side of things as well. So the Overwatch League now harps back to Microsoft. Yes. And we know how the esports scene for Overwatch has kind of been on a downward spiral. This may change a few things. We have seen over recent times the Overwatch League bleed sponsors, and it's not been a particularly attractive look, has it? We've also seen, well, teams not probably take the league as seriously as they did before. When you look at some teams, they are not probably at the heights they were in the early days, simply because their parent companies are just looking at Overwatch and not looking at it as worth investing into. which in the current climate is understandable with the way Activision Blizzard has been, the loss of sponsors, everything around it has just not been great. And when you look at it, the Overwatch League has been through quite a few leaders in its time, so it's not great, but this could be a watershed moment for Activision Blizzard, Overwatch, Overwatch League, WoW, everything. It could be a very big watershed moment. But again, it's going to be a time where we will see what happens. Again, there's going to be a transition period going from what Activision Blizzard is now to what Activision Blizzard will be under Microsoft, answerable to, I believe, Phil Spencer, who is the head of Microsoft Gaming. We're going to see what happens. It could mean big things. Hopefully it does mean big things for the promotion of Overwatch 2 and getting that done, because I'm hoping they will have a lot more resources and money available to them. Again, you don't know, but that's what I would hope, and I would hope that maybe Microsoft use Overwatch 2 as its sort of launch game for it being on the Microsoft platform and the Microsoft ecosystem, which would be kind of cool, because I think that will give that game a lot more hype, which is something that it was lacking considering it's taken so long to bring it to the forefront from Blizzard and Activision. So hopefully it means a little less messing around. You could be cynical. Maybe our good friend Jeff Kaplan saw this coming, and he didn't like the idea of Microsoft buying it, and therefore he wasn't going to be a part of it when Microsoft were going to be a part of it. Maybe he saw this coming, maybe he didn't, or maybe it was to do with all the allegations for Activision Blizzard. We don't know. There's a lot of stuff and a lot of questions, but it's going to be a case of waiting and seeing. But I suppose my thoughts on it are, and I said this to a friend, cautious optimism. Overwatch is in a really bad state. Like a really, really bad state. Scrim-wise, player-wise, esports-wise, you just seem to hear people pulling out, which is never great. And content-wise, the game has been shaky for a long time. And that goes for a similar thing throughout at Blizzard, really. A lot of the games, I think, are struggling content-wise. And this, hopefully, may present a change in direction and a watershed moment, as I said just now. And hopefully it changes a lot of things. You can never be guaranteed that it will change those things. You could just see it carry on as it is, and if it does, then who knows where it goes. But if it does change things, then we could be looking at the thing that does rejuvenate Overwatch, and Blizzard as a whole, and Activision as a whole, I suppose. We did have that big thing of the content creators meeting back a little while ago where everyone was getting super seriously hyped around Overwatch 2. And maybe, just maybe, this was a part of it. Maybe this was a part of it, because, well, this is very, very big news. This makes headline news in the entertainment, in the gaming industry, and it makes news just worldwide. It's a massive, massive deal. Massive deal. So it's going to be interesting to see where things go. And yeah, cautious optimism. I hope Microsoft reform them. I hope Microsoft reform Activision Blizzard, because the games are good. The games have very passionate fan bases as well, and they need that light. And I hope Microsoft can either change Activision Blizzard and bring that, or bring that themselves. One or the other. I don't mind how. We could end up seeing all of these games going up on the Microsoft Game Pass, by the way, for PC and Xbox users. So if you have Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate, you may see a wave of new games coming, like Overwatch, which will introduce new players. And that could also be a very big beneficiary to games like Overwatch that are currently bleeding players at the moment. And yeah, this is interesting, very, very interesting. And who knows what new IPs could come out of this with now Activision Blizzard under the wing of Microsoft. And what crossovers you can end up seeing, because, you know, Halo and Fallout and all sorts. So, Minecraft, Steve, and Overwatch when? Okay, I think we're taking it a little bit too far now. I'm going to leave it here for this one. Leave your thoughts about this in the comments below. I would love to hear what you think. Also, give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and share it around because it helps out the channel a lot. But for now, thank you so much for joining, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.